As our species becomes more efficient at surviving and thriving, the unknown of our world disappears incredibly fast. This leads to a high population density in what would have been open plains and big skies. To humans, keeping everyone alive is the right thing to do, to save as many lives as possible. But what is the effect of high population density on our mental health? After the following research, I've come to a personal conclusion that population density is part of the issue with the mental health problems we now find all across the USA. Population density has been recorded as having big effects on the well-being of the inhabitants of the area. Take Asia, for example, which is home to over 1.86 billion people. This represents 26% of the world population. But Asia only is around 5% of the global landmass, which is occupied by all these people. A straightforward danger of population density is, of course, the higher likelihood of disease to spread fast and across a large amount of area, along with the strain on resources to accommodate the population. Physical health issues are a known effect of population density, but I have a theory that population density affects mental health as well. There is a study/experiment conducted by John B. Calhoun, where he made a kind of rat utopia. This means the rats had plenty of food and shelter to last their lifetimes, which means they had no worries to survive or fight for survival or anything like that. Later, Calhoun observed that after 27 months, the population stabilized at 150 rats, but there could have been room for 5,000 at least. The reason for this being that the infant mortality rate was extremely high. This means that the infants, or the young of the rat population, died at an extremely high rate when they were first born. This is because many of the females were unable to carry a pregnancy to full term, or even survive the delivery. The ones that did make it fell short on their maternal functions, meaning they couldn't really handle the young. The male's behavior spanned from sexual deviation to cannibalism, and from crazed overactivity to a mental withdrawal where they would eat, drink, and move about only when other members were asleep. These could be called the degenerates of the population. Through the study, Calhoun coined a term called behavioral sink, which describes a collapse in behavior which can result from overcrowding, like explained before. With the information obtained from these experiments, one can start to make connections to real life and the world we see now. In our society, we see more people turning to drugs and onto the streets because of a loss of being wanted or having no purpose. These people could be called outcasts, similar to the rats that only ate and came out of their dens when they were alone. We also see less caring for children where mothers get abortions, female rats not making it to full term, or the lack of the ability to parent, leading to mentally unstable children, like female rats falling short on maternal functions. We also see violence in our society, which has gradually increased with more and more school shootings. This could possibly be compared to the exceeded violence rats got in Calhoun's experiments when they started to cannibalize and attack each other in just brutal and unnecessary ways, which you wouldn't see in the wild. The loss of being wanted is like a plague where maybe one person feels they don't need to reproduce because there are already plenty of them doing it, then the next person feels the same way, and so on and so forth. This leads to their offspring thinking the same way, leading to total collapse in the population. In conclusion, based off of all of it, I think that with the loss of the fight to survive and all the niches of a society already full, one would start to observe the behavioral sink that Calhoun stated in his work. Thank you.